This is a very social world that we live in, and anything a company can do to humanize their loan officers out there and to help them develop trust in the communities that they serve is vitally important.
The Wow Factor, brought to you by Social Survey.
Hi, I'm Andrew Berman with the Mortgage News Network, coming to you from the M&N studios here in New York. You're watching The Wow Factor, sponsored by our friends over at Social Survey. Today we have Jonathan McKinnies from Hallmark Home Mortgage. Jonathan, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So listen, I want to understand what gives you a competitive edge, that made you a top performer.
I think it starts with routine and being disciplined in your day.
Yeah.
So for me, I've got a very specific approach to how I start my day. So I make sure I wake up early. I've got exercise routine. I make sure that I try to get into the office early. And I've got a team within my branch. I'm a producing branch manager, and so I'll meet with my team every morning, and we'll do a kind of a little round table and make sure we've got a huddle so we know what our goals are for that day, and we try to stick with our focus for that day. So that really helps being structured.
That's great. So just keeping that, making it so it's almost like every day is Groundhog's Day. So you get better and better at it, and that's how you hit those top numbers.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, it's not rocket science when it comes to producing mortgages. It's all about doing the same things you can do consistently. And over time, I feel like when you've got a systematic approach, it sort of levels out your ups and downs in the industry, as opposed to how a lot of mortgage loan officers have that roller coaster effect when it comes to busy time as opposed to slow time, and you're out prospecting, but then you get busy, so then you can't prospect as much. Of course, having a team helps with that, but once again, keeping a systematic approach makes it so that you can almost feel as though you're not just commission based with this variable income. It kind of keeps it so that you've got a more structured income as well when you're very disciplined in what you're doing. Yeah.
And giving a consistent customer experience to every borrower, and that's how you seem to get such high ratings. Now I got to ask you, does online reputation matter that much?
Oh, absolutely. For us, we've adopted Social Survey, and this has just been roughly about a year. And before that, we still do get surveys on Zillow, and we try to on our social platforms, social media platforms. But for us, it's, you're always needing to create a good online presence, simply because that's where most of your customers are going to start their research. And if you don't have much of an online presence, then unfortunately, with the modern borrower, you're not going to have as much of a reputation that you can hang your hat on, so you need to have that for sure.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, John. So Jonathan, let me ask you, I gotta understand if you look at all the loans you've done, because you've done a lot of them, can you think of one loan that you did in particular where there was a sense that you did something beyond, where you got this great customer satisfaction from those borrowers? You didn't make the most money from that deal probably, but it really touched your heart.
Absolutely. Boy, it's hard to pick one, but our goal for our team is to always serve families. And so when you've got that mentality, that mindset of serving families, not just closing a loan, then you look at each transaction with a face as opposed to just being a number. And so from our standpoint, we had one in particular deal just last year, actually, where the client was so happy because she was a first-time home buyer. She was actually not given great service at other places. She came to our team. She received that wow factor from our team. And I can't take all the credit. I've got a great team of people. And at the closing table, when the buyer starts to cry at the closing table, you know that you've really done something to help them meet their goal. And I actually just got off the phone with her yesterday because we were doing an annual mortgage review. So we called her 1 year later, and I just asked her how things were going. I connected her with another business professional just to help her with a couple questions. And she said, Jonathan, I've referred at least 4 or 5 people to you, people that I work with, and it wasn't anything more than just that initial wow factor that we had when it came to that customer service. And it was great. It's a great touching experience, and she gave us a great survey online as well. So
that's fantastic. So Jonathan, if someone wants to get a hold of you, what's the best way to do that?
You can contact our team directly at 574-968 6660. We're in South Bend, Indiana, serving Michigan and Indiana, licensed in both states. Or you can find us online as well at hallmarkhomemortgage.com. You can just search for Jonathan.
Fantastic. Jonathan, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me.
I'm Andrew Berman from the Mortgage News Network. Thank you for watching.
The most important thing you can do for your business right now is to generate good, organic, high-star reviews from the people that you're serving. They'll develop the trust that you so desperately need to seek in developing your personal brand out online.
It's been a game changer because it gets everyone into the investment of we all create the great experience, and those surveys are the end proof.
This is Mortgage News Network.